Well, all right. Candy and I have finally made it out, and there's a big clearing that we made that was made by we're guessing the county. There's a huge river that comes through here, and it's literally just on the other side of all those trees and over a hill. And we're in a back marsh area that we were led to, and KO's been down the path that was cleared, but he's never been this far back. We have seen large, oh, that just got quiet.
It did.
I mean, they just shut up. Dude, is that a cat up in that tree? Right there. See that dark?
Way at the top. Yeah. Oh, way up there.
See it? I don't know. I can't see the screen. Sorry, guys.
I don't think it's no cat though. I think it's probably a vulture.
Big vulture. Okay.
Buzzard or something.
Yeah.
Flying around back through here.
Anyway. So, tons of deer tracks back here.
Fresh marks too.
Fresh. Water's still coming up from the ground in them, and there's a little subsidiary lake back in there. It got super quiet here. I mean, just like that. I mean, there were frogs just going nuts. But it's literally, I mean, I take a step in this stuff and the water just comes out of the ground. It's like that everywhere. I mean, it just got quiet. Kind of spooky, dude.
It did. I mean,
Kind of like frogs. One lone tree out in the middle of the marsh. One lone tree in the middle of the marsh. I'd say natural, guys. Looks like it's been dead a long time. And I'm starting to look more for that's just bark that's fallen off of this here. I'm starting to look more for yeah, a beer can. I'm looking more for twists. I think it's just too wet right here. It's all.
We about to get in it.
This is just super marshy.
We about at the edge of it right here.
See if we can't just pan around. But like I said, we've been doing a lot of studying. I don't want to say research. We're not researchers. You know, we're laymen at this. And, you know, there's so many different points of view and theories that we just don't know we didn't know where to start. And, you know, we had Kool Kev come up and take us into the woods. And I'm going to get back to that a little bit in just a minute. But one of the things that we have discussed was, let's trek back this way and see if we can't. One of the things that we had discussed was the 4 different kinds of Sasquatch. One being the Patty, you know, that everyone's familiar with. One being, you know, the Patty's said to be more docile, just not very aggressive unless you, of course, you know, get too close for their comfort, you know, be it their little family around or what. I'm going to see how far back we can go. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, I don't know about it there, man, because you can't really see the ground.
Well, I'm going to try it. Yeah. We'll see what we can do. It's just like I'm treading in some. It's just water everywhere. and high ground in some places. But anyway, so you have the docile patty. Then you have one that's reported to be more ape or gorilla-like, and more aggressive. And if memory serves me well, that's just water right there, like a little pond. But if memory serves me well, they're mostly down, or they're reported mostly out of Texas, or at least that's what is getting reported out of Texas. Now, I'm not saying that patties are being reported everywhere. I don't think we can get back any further. We weren't we weren't prepared to go into a marshy area. We would have our muckers on if that were the case. But so we're definitely going to come back here a little more equipped. Where was I at? Oh yeah, the patties and seeing everywhere. This one that's more ape or gorilla-like, and more aggressive. I've heard more reports from like Texas and Louisiana and those kinds of regions. I'm not saying they're not anywhere else. I'm just saying that's where I'm hearing the reports from. And a tree. I can't see the screen very well. I don't know if y'all can see the branch that's down right there and right there. But again, oh, actually that's the top of the tree. If you look up there, I'm sorry guys, I can't see the monitor. So much sun. Believe it or not, it's sunny and almost 70 degrees in Tennessee right now. Today is the 2nd or 3rd. Anyway. Limbs just hanging in trees everywhere out here, but nothing that says, definitively Bigfoot, but stuff that makes you go, Alright, so you have the one that looks more gorilla-like. Then there's the third one that is reported to have like a snout, more of a pronounced snout with canine-like teeth, and very aggressive. And I'm wondering, you guys can tell me if that's what is being reported as a dog man. Canine-like teeth, a snout. But KO and I, when we were talking about it, started thinking, in the primitive species of, primates, they, not primitive, but primates, they have, we have the silverback and the chimp, of course, and all the different types of primates, and the faces are different. Some, look more human than others, and some look more aggressive than others. But one really stood out when we started talking about the dogman, or the type 3 that has a pronounced snout and canine-like teeth, is the baboon. The baboon, I'm sure y'all are very familiar with it, has a very pronounced snout and canine-like teeth. Now there's a lot of stuff going on here, but yeah, there's a chair in a tree. I'm pretty sure we're walking in a flood area for sure. I mean, I'm just looking at this tree with, it's broken over. It's not twisted, but there's another stick in it. Where's my finger? There it is. Nope, I lost it. There's another one, like right, I can't find my finger in the screen. There we go. Right along there's another stick just laying up there horizontally. and the top of it's been broken off, but I can't see where it is. That one's broken off. With just broken twigs twined, just woven up in it. Huh, I guess I need to look at this a little better. Sorry, it's real shaky, guys. But it makes like an arch, like an entryway. And this is obviously where some water runs down through here, and it's a flood area. So a lot of this is probably from floods. But you still have to stop and think, you know. Look at it. Just gonna try and make it out to this body of water, KO. Oh, I want to see that tree, that chair. A chair and a tree. We saw it from a distance earlier. We weren't sure what it was. So, like good little Boy Scouts, we decided to come up and see. Lo and behold, it's not a Bigfoot. But we wouldn't have known if we hadn't taken a closer look. I think that chair's in good shape, man. And that's one of the heavy duty ones. Just stuck in the tree there. I'd say it's a keeper. What do you say?
Let's check it out.
Check it out. Dude, that thing's like brand new. That's a brand new chair. Spider! Ah! Oh hell, leave it there. We'll pick it up on the way back. Good shop chair. So, yeah. Baboon came to mind. Very pronounced snout. Nose at the very end of the snout. Canine-like teeth. And it's a primate. So, the type 3, and I'm probably giving the wrong number on them. You can correct me on that. I have no problem with constructive criticism. But, has a pronounced snout, canine-like teeth. Is that the one referred to as a dog man? And this is all backwater from a big river. The only thing strange we've heard out here is the frogs just got real quiet. They were a pretty good distance from us. We walked right by them, they didn't seem to care. Now that I can hear them again, they're starting back up. So, anyway, and then the type 4 looks like, to me, it has more of a human kind of face, almost Neanderthal-ish, or someone with Down syndrome. I don't know the aggression level of it, but that's where you guys come in. So, and other thoughts that we've had, people were saying, when you discuss Bigfoot with them and they're laughing at you, they say, why doesn't anybody see them? Well, of course we know they're being seen, and the reports are going up right now. We're getting more and more reports all across the country. The thing is I guarantee you there's a lot more that are seen, and it's not reported in fear of ridicule. So there's that. But I think a lot of it is too, people are walking right by them and not even knowing, and then again they come back with it's a 10-foot tall, 4-foot wide creature. How do you not see it? Well, believe it or not, I've actually walked right up to a horse in the woods and never saw it until it moved or snorted. You don't look for something that big. You just don't naturally look for something that big. it's the size of a tree. You know the old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees? Well, if it's 10 feet tall and 4 feet wide, it's another tree. And if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. How many Volkswagen Beetles did you go by yesterday on the interstate? I guarantee you a whole lot more than you saw. Or did you even see one? I don't know. You weren't looking for it. So, I don't know. There's just that food for thought. And the point comes to this. You know, in the woods next to my house, for 15 years, my son and I had been going out there and camping and hiking and just enjoying them. And I never noticed anything at all. Never saw a thing, never, not one thought about it. And when I showed on Google Earth the area that I lived in to Kool Kev, he was like, dude, I bet you're covered up with them. And I'm like, no. And again, I told him I've lived there 15 years, well, there's nothing there. And he was like, let me come up and I'll show you. I want to see these woods. He goes, I bet we'll find stuff. I'm like, okay. And lo and behold, if you saw the first few videos, there was tons of stuff in there, and I've walked by it for 15 years. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what any of it meant, and I still don't know what it means. It's creepy back here, man. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
It's really creepy. But, so there's that. And guess who I got to talk to yesterday? I did. I spoke with Kool Kev, and he is doing really good. And misses y'all. He misses getting out in the woods. He's gotten to where he is. I don't know what tracks those are. More. There's tons of deer and wildlife going through here. We have found deer, dog, and human tracks. I'm not sure what these are. I'm not sure at all. I just can't tell. It looks like a big heel, doesn't it? I don't see any kind of marks in it at all.
Man, it's so soft back here.
I know. Ah, there's a boot print right there.
Yeah.
Right there's a boot print. Pointed toes. Anyway, so Kool Kev, yeah, he's been still real busy, but it's good. He's taking care of his family, you know. Man's got to do what he can to keep standing, you know. And that's what he's doing. He's taking care of business, but he sends his regards to everybody, and he will be back. And he will be back in large fashion. And I can't wait. It just depends on how fast he can get his projects done. And whenever this assignment he's on now is done, he's back at it. So, anyway, there's that. Sorry we're not seeing a whole lot back here. But thought I'd share what KO and I have been discussing. Now we can hear our crickets again, or our frogs. And then here's more deer tracks. I mean, you can just see them blatant. Deer track. It's a beautiful place back here. It's got all the elements. It's got deer. It's got all kinds of small wildlife. It's got water. And it's got some thick cover. All right, we're gonna go around the other way and see what we can come up with. All right, so we're above the marsh. It's down here. I don't know if you can see, we were down in there. Still hear the crickets come around, and there's this forestry road that comes back here. And then we're surrounded by hills. And it's so thick. I mean, we could go in there, but I don't see anything that intrigues me enough to go in there. I don't mind going downhill. It's that uphill part that bothers me. So what are your thoughts about, you know, there was a post on one of the groups about someone knowing where they were, but they were afraid to go back there, and they were advised to just go for it. That was nothing to be afraid of, that they won't hurt you. And I think there's truth to that. A very good point was made that no Bigfoot researchers have come up missing. And so they're not out to take people, but you know, there are the 411 stories. And there's the recent story of the 3-year-old child in North Carolina that just disappeared out of his grandmother's backyard, wearing very little clothes, and it got very, very cold. He was out for 2 nights, and he said that he stayed with a bear, and the bear took care of him. I'd really like to know people's thoughts on that. A lot of foot traffic back here, Camden.
Yep. It's not fresh though.
Not too fresh.
Got a little muddy than I thought it would be.
It's just this one spot where it comes off this hill. It looks like a ledge right up in here. You just barely see this ledge right up in there. A rock overhang, maybe. I want to come back and see that. See how it looks like maybe there's some, I don't know if I can zoom in on it or not, like some limbs and like tree limbs and stuff hanging and laid down in front of it. You see what I'm talking about? Oh, sorry guys. All right. So anyway, a bear took care of him and kept him warm for 2 nights. Now, I'm not going to discredit it, but does a 3-year-old know how to describe a Bigfoot if there's no exposure to information of Sasquatch, you know? If that child has no information, what's he going to relate it to? And why would he say it's a bear? My son actually told me if it was a Bigfoot, he would have described it as a big hairy man. And you know what? I get that, and I can see that. But how big does the man get before it comes out of a realm, like we talked about earlier, that it's no longer a man, it has to be a bear? And why would a 3-year-old think it's a bear? Well, it's huge, right? And it's hairy all over, the color of a bear, or what he perceives to be a bear. And it walks on all 4s. So a man doesn't walk on all 4s, but a bear will sometimes walk on its hind legs. And a child, that's usually basic knowledge, you know, the dancing bear, so to speak. But if it was a Sasquatch, and for some reason I'm thinking female, and she walked around on all fours most of the time, because I think they do. I think they walk primarily on all four when they're trying, when something's around them, like say, like right now, KO and I are walking in the woods, and they're going to know we're here. We're noisy. We're noisy on purpose. Now that's interesting. And that tree's bent.
Oh yeah.
So they want to stay small. Just looking at this one. That's about 8 feet up. And goes all the way down that way. And I think I mean, I can make anything out of anything back here, guys. I'm just trying to find things that are out of place, not supposed to be. This one stick just leaned right up there on a rock in a tree. There you go. I don't know if that means anything at all. Wow, KO, there's a huge body of water back there. So would a 3-year-old perceive a Sasquatch that walks on all four, too big to be a man, but doesn't know what a Sasquatch is, and just call it a bear? I think it's possible. In fact, I think it's likely. Because the reason I'm not too keen on the bear idea is I've never heard or found a story. My son said there were stories of bears taking care of people before, and I looked for it and I can't find anything. Now, I admit my search was only on Google, but I don't. Hang on a second. Okay, we're coming around to a really big body of water.
I bet this is where the main river probably back up.
Oh yeah. Something moved up here. Yeah, but I haven't found any stories of bears in the wild taking care of children.